this has to do with Phillip Rivers. He says he's not going to sign another deal right now. He has 1 year left on his contract, and he's in no hurry to re-sign with the San Diego Chargers. To add to this report, the Chargers GM reportedly says, I have no problem shopping Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. Do you think we're looking at the end of an era in San Diego?
Here's the part of the story I like. If I remember correctly, Phillip has a big old family, big old happy
7 kids,
yeah.
And he loves living in San Diego and does not want to move at all.
So I want to make it a get off my lawn moment for Phillip. Me and my family, we're not moving to Los Angeles. Los Angeles has got smog and crime, and we hate it. You know, and so I want him to go right there, put it right over the edge. But that's because to your idea of outrage, that's what we want this to be, is outrage. But if you're a fan of the Chargers, don't you love this? He's saying, I'm a San Diego guy. I want to play for the Chargers. I don't want to move to L.A. Come on, get the stadium done. If you're a fan of the Chargers, you're going, yeah, Phillip, go. You're our guy forever, even more so than you were 5 minutes ago.
The fans of the Chargers, while they may be outraged, they should certainly buy tickets to support the Chargers so they don't have to move to another place. I know they got their stadium issues.
Where are you from?
I'm from Southern California. but it's, again, people are down to be outraged, but not down to follow through with the action.
Right.
I want my team here. Well, then support your team.
Right.
But they got stadium issues, so they may have to move. But for Phillip Rivers to try to use the leverage of the team moving to L.A., that I'm not sure if I want to re-sign, then you would have to move someplace else.
Yeah. You have to move to New Orleans. They already got some guys.
The next step of logic there. This is just some off-season posturing between the front office and a player trying to gain leverage on each other. This is how contracts are negotiated most of the time now in the media, in the public eye.
Right. It's funny, you played in a sport where trades don't happen very often. Mm-hmm. So in some ways, I think you got lucky, because usually when guys leave in the NFL, they leave because it's free agency.
Right.
I mean, this past free agency period, we saw a bunch of trades. Mm-hmm. But in baseball, hockey, and the NBA, you are a commodity. You can get traded sometimes 2, if not 3 times during a season. And we have seen that happen.
Yes.
But how difficult is a move like that on your family?
It is difficult. Obviously, you got to uproot everybody, and it's hardest on the kids. I think the wives know what they're signing up for. In my case, my wife grew up in a military family, so she moved all the time anyway. So she was perfectly adapted to being in a relationship with me. But it's the kids. It's hard on your kids. On the other hand, it makes your kids very adaptable. They're quick to make friends. My kids can blend in anywhere because of every 6 months we lived someplace differently. It's the life. This is how it works. And I'm not going to complain about this great life that I have because it allows me to have Rolexes, as we talked about before.
Well, but this isn't a Rolex.
This is not a Rolex, not today.
How many watches do you own?
20 plus.
You're a watch collector and a reptile collector.
I'm a collector of awesomeness. Yes, I am.
Awesomeness. What other things do you collect?
2 of us.
It's like Noah's Ark. You've collected the 2 of us.
I collect rare Bob Marley and Prince records.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm a collector of Nike tennis shoes. I like to have great things, awesome things.
Kiz, what do you like to collect?
I like to collect memories. That's really all we get to take with us. And I'll remember this show forever.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not really a big collector. I have, because I'm old, I have a lot of vinyl records, and I keep them, and I frame them and put some of them on my wall because I love music, as anybody who's seen me dance clearly knows that I do.
Right.
And so, I keep my collection of music.
I want to go more in depth on this Phillip Rivers story.
On music?
No. Well, I'll talk music. I'll talk. And actually, I'll give Kiz a lot of credit here for, excuse me for saying this, for his age.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your 50s.
I am?
This guy right here has quite the broad spectrum of music. He can go today's music back 40 years. He can talk music with a 15-year-old kid all day. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Yep.
Actually, when Chad mentioned Bob, I say, okay, if you like Bob, do you like Ziggy, or is it just trying to keep the name alive without actually having the talent to do it?
It's a family legacy,
Okay.
as they put it.
Look how nice you are.
As the Marley family puts, it's a legacy.
Yeah.
Yes. The musical genes mainly got to Bob. They didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go more in depth real quickly about this Phillip Rivers story.
Okay.
Okay, so we know last week Peyton Manning requested a no trade clause in his contract. This is a hypothetical. What would you think if John Elway would have called the San Diego Chargers and said, "We'll make you a swap. You can have Manning, and we get Rivers."
Wow. That'd be fascinating. Obviously, the Bronco fans hate Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Well, they hated Manning, though, at one time,
And you know
too.
what? For no reason.
The reason was justified. Phillip Rivers can definitely
Yeah,
talk.
he's chirping at Jay Cutler, of all people.
Yeah, but
I know Jay Cutler was our guy.
Yeah,
I get it.
but Phillip is keeping the rivalry alive, and that's what Broncos fans love to hate Phillip Rivers because he brings the passion to that rivalry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his on the field demeanor can rub people the wrong way, but I think he's a good dude.
He
He's a
seems
good
like a
locker.
great dude.
His teammates like him, so I have no problem with his on the field demeanor. I actually think it would be a good move
Can I? Okay, let me.
because
twist-
he's a guy who's willing to go down kicking and screaming.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Without a doubt.
He'll win kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
So then let me twist this question a little bit. Who would you rather have as your quarterback in 2015? Phillip Rivers or Peyton Manning?
Rivers.
Rivers.
I'd rather have Rivers because I know I'm going to have more than just 1 year.
Wow.
How about you?
It's close. I think traditionally, historically, the NFL tells you that a quarterback at age 39 is going to be high mediocre at best. So
Right.
I'm in Denver. Go Broncos! Peyton Manning.
Listen,
I'm lying.
I would
I'd take Phillip Rivers,
take
too.
Eli over Peyton right now because of years left. Years left.
Years of lots of interceptions. Years of frustration. I know he's got the 2 Lombardi trophies, but man, the number of interceptions is just, from a defensive guy, it'd be very difficult to take that.
Maybe a change of scenery would help him. I don't know. Maybe a new system would help.
Yeah, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback, but the amount of interceptions over the last 2 seasons has just been it'd be impossible for me to stay.
I'd rather have a guy who's considered to be better than average than a guy who I don't believe is going to lead this team to the Super Bowl and we only have 1 year left. Is that unfair?
That's not unfair.
that
That's
was-
reasonable.
That was discussion we had all this offseason.